Knock at the Cabin is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It stars Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff and Rupert Grint. And in Shyamalan's new movie, four people disturb a family's vacation and they are forced to make a choice. Kill one of their members of their family or watch the world suffer from the apocalypse. Now, in the famous words of Forrest Gump, M. Night Shyamalan movies are like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
Sometimes it could be an absolute great movie, sometimes it could be fairly mediocre, and sometimes he makes a movie that makes you want to rip your eyes out. So I went into Knock at the Cabin with very mixed expectations. The great thing about Shyamalan movies is that you never know what you're getting. It could be weird, it could be simple, and I think that's one of his greatest traits as a director. And while I did not think Knock at the Cabin was great or anything, I still think it's easily his best film since Split, which is a film I really do like. Already, the concept, it's just funny. It makes for a thrilling story. There's tension all around, the tension never stops, but that only works with some likeable characters. The three main leads, they're all likeable, they've got a nice family and everything, but the conflict of them being gay and not being accepted in society much, even by their parents, is shown quite a lot here. And they try to play it into the end of the story, which works fine. It works okay for a big decision at the end. This movie also sprinkles in religious elements such as belief. This movie basically asks the question, what would it take for you to believe? Will it be too late once you believe in a problem? It's a really good message to send. And these characters portray that in a way where their conflicts differ each other. With the main couple, one character knows that one of them has to die, but he can't bring themselves to do it. Whereas the other one keeps denying it, saying, this news report was pre-recorded, these four fugitives are lying. It's a good conflict to have. And it makes you wonder, where's this going to go? Will he die? What will happen? Will the world end? It really makes you go all different directions. And all of this leads to a fairly predictable ending, which is something I'll get into later, but yeah, the ending is very predictable. Once you watch the film and you get closer to the final act, you'll kind of think, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of thought it would have ended that way. Now, I know M. Night Shyamalan loves these twist endings. He basically dies for them. And I think in this case, I think a twist ending would have been better, but again, we'll get into that in a minute. But these characters are elevated by some really strong performances. Dave Bautista, it's so weird that wrestlers are good actors nowadays. John Cena, The Rock, Dave Bautista. It's so weird. On paper, it shouldn't work, but Bautista actually is trying to make people take him seriously as an actor now, which I really like. The only thing I don't like about The Rock and John Cena is that they always seem to play the same characters. But not Bautista. You can tell he's tried to challenge himself. And I really do respect him for that. The two main leads are also really good. But the child acting from Christian Chu, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, this is her first major role. I don't know how old she is or anything. But I actually thought she did a really good job. I thought she did a solid job. I'm interested to see what she does in the future. Also, M. Night's direction just shines through again. He's a fantastic director. Any film he makes, apart from this piece of crap, any film that he makes is really well directed. That's the one thing I will always say about his films. And there's that shot in the trailer where Dave Bautista's character lifts up the axe and the camera tilts to the side and then goes down. And that's a really cool shot. It's in the movie. It's done very well. And can I just also say the sound design? Not many people are talking about this. But I think the sound design was top-notch in this. It reminded me of the movie Prey, where every element just had its own unique sound. It felt like you were actually watching this in person. But where this movie takes the fault is the characters, for one. The characters, while kind of interesting, they do have their personalities and their backgrounds. They don't really do that much with them. And what I mean with this is the gay couple, the main two characters, they have these flashbacks of people mistreating them just because, they're gay, they're homosexual. but it doesn't really fit in well with the ending. They tried to incorporate it, especially with all the religious elements. But for me, it just did not fit well. It kind of felt a bit forced. The film also just spurts out exposition in every scene. And when I mean every scene, I mean pretty much every scene has exposition, exposition, exposition. To the point where it becomes overwhelming. And sometimes exposition is just repeated from the last scene. So many times, the lines, oh, will you make a choice? You have to kill someone or the whole world will end. Keeps repeating itself. And I'm like, I get it. I know what's going to happen. Stop repeating it to me. I also think that a twist ending could have been the right call here. Unfortunately, M. Night went with the safe ending, predictable ending, which just didn't fit. I would have preferred the book ending from Cabin at the End of the World. Albeit the ending is very dark, very disturbing, but I feel it would have fit this movie better about messages of belief and worthiness. It's just unfortunate because I feel the criticism that Old got, the last Shyamalan film, where it kind of felt like a very forced twist ending, and movies like Split did that as well, where it was introduced that was part of the Glass universe, felt very forced. I think that kind of scared him off of doing twist endings. And finally, these are only slight nitpicks, but so many times the characters are whispering to each other very loudly. To the point where I'm wondering, how are these guys not hearing these people about how they're going to untie their bonds and stuff? It just really took me out of the movie sometimes. It was just very ridiculous. But overall, Knock at the Cabin isn't Shyamalan's best work, but it's not his worst work as well. I think this is somewhere in the middle for me. It's his best movie since Split. It's helmed by some fantastic performances, a great concept told fairly well, flawless direction, but unfortunately, exposition is just dumped on you all the time. I feel the ending was a bit safe. I think they should have gone with the book ending instead. There's so many nitpicks in here as well about people whispering and how people aren't hearing them. I topped that off with some fairly undeveloped characters. This is a middle tier Shyamalan movie. Not the best, not bad either. I would actually encourage you to see this film. Make up your own opinions because I know people are very divisive on this film. So I'd love to hear what you think of it. But for me, Knock at the Cabin is going to get a fairly solid 6 out of 10. But guys, that is it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Not sure what my next video is going to be, but we'll have to wait and see. But make sure to leave your thoughts on Knock at the Cabin in the comments. Always love to hear your thoughts, guys. Have a good day, and see you later.